we've got college football this weekend as well, and we've got some really big matchups, and I haven't even gotten to break them down yet, but obviously the big games this week. I mean, we have Ole Miss, Georgia, with Georgia laying 7.5. And then I'm pretty sure, Tennessee, Alabama. I was like, I know that's this week. Alabama laying 8.5. That's the night game, Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. Either of those games stand out to you?
This isn't something that I normally would endorse, but I'll throw it out there. If you'd feel like getting a money line parlay for Georgia and Alabama, because I don't envision either one of those teams losing at home, you'll basically get -109 for both of them. Let me throw one more at you. You know the golden rule of parlays, Ariel? When you think you need one more, you never need one more. But I'll give you one more. Add Miami on Friday night, and you get plus money on Miami, Georgia, and Alabama, all to win at home, in big spots against ranked opponents. Or Louisville's not a ranked opponent. But, I mean, look.
Joseph Rodriguez is with you there. He's like, add Miami.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like at plus money, I threw a shekel down on it. Why not? I threw some pizza money. I never, go crazy on parlays. I'm not the guy who's, but for 3 teams at plus money, those 3 teams in particular at home, you have Bama at home on revenge against Tennessee. It's just hard. Bama's defense is not, it's really good. And I have Bama rated as the 4th best team in the country, but their defense is a problem. And Josh Heupel can put up points. So I think with a 2-score margin there, and that number's bounced around a ton, right? It was at like 8.5, it went to 9.5, back down to 7.5. Now it's back up to 8.5. Like it's bouncing around, but it's all in that same dead range, Ariel, of 7.5 to 9.5, which essentially is 2 scores. And I could see a late toucher. I got backdoored to Bama last week in a game they never should have, and I never should have pushed against Missouri. They dominated that team and should have absolutely won by 10 or more and did not. And I pushed on a 3. Very upset about it. But that said, I think Bama wins. Georgia, here's the thing. Like,
you think they cover?
Bama or Georgia?
Both.
I don't think Bama covers. I think they win. I think the back door is wide open there. I think there's a lot there. Their defense doesn't really allow me to believe that they can, keep somebody out of the end zone late. Like, they were more than content last week to let Missouri walk right down the field up by 10 and score and make it a 7-point game. They had absolutely no reservations about it whatsoever. So, and they trust their offense more than they trust their defense. So I think Georgia can and probably will cover. As much as I respect Ole Miss, here's my issue. It feels like that Georgia game last week, if you remember back to last year, was the Georgia game when they went into Texas and won the game there that nobody thought they were going to win. And I was on Auburn. I had a plus 3.5. I was pissed. I was very angry. Some of my thoughts were shared on social media, and Georgia fans are still in my mentions. Nonetheless.
What's with you in the state of Georgia?
They don't like me.
But you live there.
I'm from the North.
Yeah,
Southerners don't like Northerners. They're still upset about the Civil War thing, and they don't like us. That bless your heart thing doesn't really mean bless your heart. Do you know what it means?
F you.
It means go F yourself. That's what it means. And
I know. That's what I laugh about all the time.
I don't take kindly to that. Just tell me to go F myself, and I can take it. I'm a big boy. So anyway,
what sides do you like this week in college football?
Like games that I like? Yeah. The number 12 team in the country is Georgia Tech. I had one of my fellow co-hosts in the Georgia market who had the nerve to go on Twitter and say, if Georgia and Georgia Tech played right now, Georgia Tech would be favored. And I literally laughed out loud on air and made fun of the person. Tell me you don't know how spreads work without telling me you don't know how spreads work. The number 12 team, Georgia Tech, is on the road this week at Duke and is an underdog. Not to Duke basketball. Not an underdog to Duke basketball. They're an underdog to Duke football. And you think they're going to be favored against Georgia? Are you nuts? Georgia's a 10-point favorite against Tech right now. So, I like Duke. This is the prime spot for Georgia Tech to trip up. It really is. There's only one more spot to do it. That's at Chestnut Hill at BC, but there's a bye between those 2 road games. I talked to Kelly about this. She doesn't like it. I do. I like Arkansas this week.
Okay.
At home. A&M is a team that I'm really high on, but with Petrino at the helm and everything else, I kind of feel like Arkansas is a spot here. And I'm on an island because I haven't seen anybody tell me they like USC. How are you going to lay 8.5, 9 points with that Notre Dame defense? That Notre Dame defense stinks. It is terrible. So, no. And I'll do something else I don't normally do. I'll lay points on the road within conference at night in a place I never would do it. That's against BYU. Lay the 3.5 with Utah. BYU is not a top 20 team in this country. They are not. They're not power rated as top 20. They shouldn't. They don't belong in the top 25. They're good, but their schedule has been cake. They haven't beaten anybody of note. And Utah has got the edge at quarterback, on defense, and at head coach. And that's enough for me to lay 3.5 in a place in Provo, Utah, where BYU almost never loses at night. Ever. You want a stinker really late on Saturday night, Ariel?
Oh, boy, go for it.
You want a little catch up? That takes Stanford getting 17.5 against Florida State, who's never made the trip. Even though Florida State's lost 3-0. Kind of wish they would have won last week. Would have liked the spot even more. I don't think Stanford wins the game, but 17.5 is too much for Florida State, making their first ever trip out to Palo Alto to play that game there. Little catch up spot right there.